Okay.
Oh, he can sit in the back.
Really?
Ain't no room in the back.
All right. Let's get to it. So, yesterday we did graphing slope-intercept form. So when I look at this bowling picture, I hope some of you were already able to write an equation, and the equation I'm looking for is y equals mx plus b with a slope and a y-intercept. So use the picture and think about, how do you pay for bowling? Do you have to pay for shoes every game? You pay for your shoes once, and then you have to pay per game. Actually, I'm setting up the graph before I write the equation. So then I want you to graph it. So I'm going to set up the graph for you.
Bless you.
Wait, what? Bless you.
So because we have 50 cents in here, when I set up my graph, I'm going to go by 0.5. So 50 cents, $1.52, $2.53.
Do we have to draw the graph?
$3.54. Yeah, you're actually going to draw this in your notebook or graph paper. And it looks like I have to really go over that.
We need a big graph.
Yeah. It needs to go all the way up to 9. Really? 9? What's the equation?
250 equals 450x plus something. I don't know that other part.
My equation is going to be.
Wait, hold on. You said it's 9, right?
It's what?
9. You said go up to 9, right?
Actually, I'm taking that back.
Okay, no, I don't know it.
Does anybody feel like they know the equation? Y equals mx plus b.
So it would be y equals 4.5.
Oh, nah, that's when I was. That's
4.5
I had that
plus
right.
250. 150 Gee, she made it seem like it was like a new student. Just horrible.
I don't really think it needs to go up that high. I'm just guessing right now.
But you heard it on this?
Okay. So y equals. Go ahead.
450 x plus
250. So when you go to pay, it's $4.50 per game. So whenever the word per or each is in the problem, that's the slope. That goes in the M spot. Yeah, you can take a picture of that. Per or each goes in the M spot. If you want to just do like 1, 2, 3, 4, that's okay. But since we're starting at 250, so maybe like leave a space in the middle. Like do a dash and then a big one, a dash and then a big two, a dash and then a big three. I think this is the best way to do it. All right, so 250s. The reason this is in the B spot is because you pay for your shoes once and then you don't pay again. But you're gonna have to pay $4.50 every time you want to play another game. And bowling can be pretty expensive because you got like 6 people there playing another game, right? Expensive, you got to pay for a whole family, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna show this another way, a little fancier. B is 250. B is typically an initial cost, like a startup fee, a beginning value. It's like a beginning fee. I don't know why there's a space between my two eyes. All right, so I want to show function notation here. Maybe I want to, instead of y, I put a big C, parentheses t. I don't want to use t. We're talking about bowling games, right? So C parentheses G, the cost of games is 4.5G plus 2.5. You guys are okay with that, right? Instead of Y, I could put C of G. Instead of X, I put G for games. That's just function notation, right, Gavin? How do you feel about function notation? Instead of Y, we use C, the cost. And instead of X, we're going to put a G in there, the cost of games. Yeah. The cost of games is $4.50 each game. Yeah. Or it could be F of X. Yeah. Could be any of those. Could be any of those. All right. This is podium. No, we're gonna graph using slope. This isn't gonna stay here. This isn't everyone's. The number of games. X is the number of games you cue ball. So now we're gonna graph just like yesterday. Where should I begin my graph on the y-axis? Jason, 2.5. Yes, 2.5. So we begin at B, which is 2.5, and then we're gonna do rise over run, 450 over 1. So here's my dot. That's what I wanted to do by 50 cents. No. We're going to go up 4.5, right 1. $4.50 for each game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for one game, it's going to cost me $7. 450 plus 250. I can't even get another point, I don't think.
Ain't that enough one? Yeah. I don't know what's funny. Yes.
No. Good luck to you guys. Have fun back there. You guys gonna figure out how to control yourselves.
That sounds like points alone.
All right. Let's move on to number 3, domain and range. Guess I can do it right here. No, and that's having to do with the domain. For this type of graph, we're not going to go the opposite way. We're not going to extend this way. Why? We're not going to play negative bowling games. We're not going to calculate like before our first game. So that affects the domain. All right, so the domain this time is not all real numbers. Because it's a word problem. It's all numbers greater than 0. Either play 0 or more games. And our range is the cost. What might it cost us? Our y value, our range, our cost is all numbers greater than 2.5 because it started on 2.5 on the y-axis. And range, I should have written this. Range is y values. Our y value is 2.5. And our x value started at 0. Because there will be some limit. Like, you're not going to play 100 bowling games. I mean, unless you're like a frequent bowler and go all year. You're not going to play infinity bowling games. Like, it's not going to go on forever. But if they don't tell us like an end here, we're just going to show.
Oh, right. The domain is the x values to y values. So if x is we don't know the number, it's going to be any number greater than 0.
Yeah, because on x, the first point was at 0. And it went higher, 0 again. But at y, the first point was at 2.5. Okay, let's check homework. Get your homework out.
I didn't do these two.
Yeah. Need it.
This is blurry. I don't know why. But here's what your graph should look like.
I didn't know how to do 25. So we just plus 0? Okay.
Yes, 25 has a plus 0.
So whenever it doesn't have a y value, you just add 0.
Does this show my work?
Here's, I'm sorry, but I'm not available after school today. There's a meeting about your benchmark next week.
God.
So, but I am tomorrow. Please come in after school tomorrow.
Hi. How are you?
It's nice to meet you.
Y'all already know.
Hey, it's scary. We're welcoming.
Don't act like nobody chopped your head off.
It's your practice.
Probably okay.
Bro, don't.
These young ones too. Can't still want to pray forever.
Miss, I thought you was playing.
Don't make me mad.
But you're for real. You're not fake.
Everybody thought, I thought she played.
For real. You know how many times I've heard y'all say.
Yes. We supposed to be teaching, right?
Yeah, so
That's what I do. If someone stares at me, I'm gonna stare back. You ever have staring competitions? Not dead.
very happy.
Did she check my homework already? Miss, did you check my homework already? She's just gonna run out the class. I'm good. She's just gonna run.
Alright, you guys did pretty well yesterday with the handout. So I have a note handout for you again today.
I mean, the handout was pretty easy.
So I'm going to when I hopefully I didn't lose the one from yesterday. When I'm done today, I'm gonna look at both of them side by side and I'm gonna give you points for doing both of them today. Okay?
How many points? Points. You put it at points.
Actually, this thing.
You're gonna have a couple points. Definitely carbonated. Oh, I can drink that.
Oh yeah, we already wrote it down in our notes.
Page 259, number 137. Did everybody get a handout?
I didn't.
No way.
I get it.
No, you need to hurry up and pass it back.
I will send her a purchase
No, you let down come up and snatch it.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
I'm just saying, guys.
Not my fault.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Alright, now, does everybody have a handout? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it out too. Alright, here we are. This is chapter 3.7. I believe this is a brand new concept to you. Okay? Like slope you had done before, y equals mx plus b you had done before. But I believe this is new to you. This is a new concept.
Linear.
It says linear.
I said it's linear. Okay, we get it. Y'all like, wow. You're not getting picked all over. That's the interview. I don't care. Like, okay, okay.
Alright, back on track. We want to actually move graph lines today. So you're gonna have a line and you're gonna be given like certain vocabulary or clues in an equation and asked to move it. A lot of it is understanding function notation. So I want you to be real quiet and real patient as we move through the examples. A transformation, and this is a definition. It's any change in the graph's size or location. That's a really informal definition. Hello?
Me? What am I doing?
You're heading home.
Oh, okay.
I
don't know.
Sneak me out.
Okay. Next word. Horizontal translation. Ready? That's a move left or right. Some people really like to refer to this as a shift of the graph. You can shift a graph left or right.
I'm making my book on this.
The whole thing's kind of complicated. I'd say don't go. All right, so then I want you to guess. I want you to guess if a horizontal translation is a move left or right. What do you guys think a vertical translation is?
Up and down.
Move up or down.
That's just common sense.
It's just common sense. So our first skill
Not too late.
is understanding a vertical translation using function notation. So without words, only with symbols. So this is a little indicator here. It says a number written after g of x will shift the graph up or down. It's very similar, but we're going to create it and tell the change. Yes. So before we even look at shifting anything, let's go ahead and graph this. We're looking at number 1. You're graphing it thinking y equals mx plus b. So for our f of x function, remember you're supposed to begin at the b value. And for this one, it's at 0, 1.
We plug it in. This was on the PSAT.
Sure was. So here's our y-intercept. This 1 shows up right here on the 1. And then we're going to move the m value, which is just 3. And since it's just 3, we'll put a 1 underneath it. Since it's positive, it's rise over run. So up 3 over 1. Yes, and since this isn't a word problem, we want to make sure we're real advanced with this and go both ways. On the graph, just a straight line, and I don't want you necessarily to try to match my points. I want you to match my process. Start at 1 and count yourself up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. So you created on your graph, not by matching my points, but through your movement. I started here, up 1. Look, Sharika, remember, this is the B value, and you begin at B. So I'm going to begin at 1. It's 0, 1. So I began right here. This is up 1, right? And from there, I counted rise 3, run 1. Yeah. So before I answer, are there any more questions on how to graph f of x? I'm going to have that down. So now g of x. You guys probably all wrote that, but I'm going to move it.
We gotta highlight that. No.
This -2 right here means move f of x, which we just graphed, down 2 units. So this symbol, it says make a new graph G. And to do it, you're going to take your f graph and move it down 2. My new graph G is the old graph down 2. You have my permission to use a highlighter if you want, or a pen to do the new one. So like, and it's helpful, like I'm gonna go ahead, I use a, like kind of a fuchsia pink. This I'm gonna label, this was f of x. Now when I do my new one down 2, I'm gonna call it g of x, and I use a different color. So if you want to, you can, if you have a pen or whatever. So I have to go down 2. So from this point, I just count down 2. From each point, I count down 2.
Not the graph too long.
Look at this at 8th grade.
And that new one is called g of x. It's the same slope, but I'm starting at -2. I'm sorry, -1. Because I went here and I counted down 2. And then I counted the same slope, up 3 over 1. No, I do it the whole time. So from here, I went down 2. And then I counted up. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. If you feel good and you're ready, try number 2.
Miss, didn't we do this at 8th grade? Well, some people do you think.
So the red one is FX and the blue one is Q.
Yeah. So it helps to label it.
Does it matter the name of the name is after Q?
It's whatever the problem says is F or G. You have to stay consistent.
So it's just a name, they're just making differences.
Not. Is that on the handout? No, not here. For these, since they're not word problems, the domain is all real numbers and the range is all real numbers.
Oh, so Miss, basically, we just with that the one at the bottom under the first one, right? You just basically substitute that -1 for 3.
No. Because from here, when I count up 3, I end at 2. So don't switch them out. It's not a direct switch. It's a count up 3. Like if this was -5, this would be -2 because I go up 3 from that -5.
So 3 is where you started. You just keep doing the same thing as you did with the first one.
No, it's not a y-intercept.
So
It's a movement.
So on this one, we start at -1.
So exactly. So you move the over. So it will start at -3 and it'll move over. Or am I just slow?
I completely think you understand it. I don't think you're saying the right words though.
Oh.
Alright, so for this one, I started at -1 up to over 1. And then, maybe I'll go ahead and label it. That was the original that we called F. So
you start at,
no,
you start at +3.
no.
You go up 3 from where you were last time.
I'm going to count up 3. It's not a location, it's a movement. So I count 1, 2, 3, and actually I'm at a 2 at that point, not a 3.
Wait, if X.
I'm going to count up 3 to start, and then I use the same slope I did before. Up 2 over 1.
I'm like dead serious.
Wait, so 3
So
is
Miss,
the
I just did
beginning
this
point,
wrong.
and 2 over
So I
1
need some
is
whiteout.
go up 2 and then go over 1. Alright, then.
It should, if it's just a vertical slide or a vertical shift, it should always have the same slope. So it's a parallel line. Have you guys learned that parallel lines have same slope?
Wait, what are you
These are like train tracks. They're not like at a different angle. They're matched up. Did anybody start number 3 yet?
No.
Did anybody do G on number 3 yet? I want to change it. So Becca, you're not going to be able to change it. That's okay. But I want to change number 3 to look different. Can everybody do this? Can everybody make this a 7? Well, because these are like the tiniest, lamest moves. And I want to do a big move.
Yeah, you really don't have enough graph.
Is that a 7? No, I'm going to stick with 7. Everybody change this to 7. I just want to do something big. It's okay. If you want to just do the 1, it's okay. You won't be in trouble.
No, I'm just saying.
All right. Is everybody ready for number 3?
No.
Okay. You're quiet. Y equals 2x is the same as y equals 2x plus 0.
Why does that matter?
So you put a dot at 0, 0.
You just 2 over 1, right?
We're going to begin at 0. And then M for movement up to over 1.
Yeah.
Everybody okay with that? Starting at 0 and up to 1?
Why does teacher
So for the second part, we're gonna start at 7.
They called this G because they want you to make a whole new graph. The whole new graph should be the original graph moved up 7 units. So it's the one you just did, but you count up 7. You just come back to see if everyone's looking.
Right. We the same way. Nothing changed. Instead of going up, instead of going this way, so you start at 7, right? Or you start at 0 and then count up 7. Gracias.
Jeez.
Okay, and so this, to remind you of the vocabulary, these are all called vertical translations. We were moving things up and down. Now, talking about, and you don't have to write this or anything, I'm just going to talk for a second. Talking about the bowling problem, if the bowling alley increased their shoe fee by 50 cents, their new equation would be 450x plus $3. The shoe fee went from 250 to 3. That's an example of a vertical translation in a word problem because the whole thing would be 50 cents higher. Okay? So if the fee changed by 50 cents, it would then be 3. The graph would be up by 0.5. That's a real word problem example.
But that's still not all of them.
No. Okay, next is horizontal.
That's why when you take more.
So our next section is to understand horizontal translations. And so this time, the number is written inside the parentheses. And this is really important. You always do an opposite move for horizontal. You move right or left opposite of what you would think. Lori, go ahead and fill this word opposite in. It's very important. For horizontal, it's opposite of what you would think. Okay? So here, again, these are all the same pink graphs. Okay, so this is the same as this. So we're starting with these same pink graphs down here. So begin at 1 and move up 3 over 1. And I can label that f of x. That's the original graph. Now, this is now called h. We're making a new graph, and we're going to call it h. We could call it anything but f. And since the number is inside parentheses, we want to shift this right 2 units. Yeah, it's opposite.
It's not adding.
could pick any point and count right to.
It don't matter what.
Right to, well, actually, all of them. All of them you count right to. Right. Right. Just count over 1, 2.
So
Yes,
this
but it's opposite. Yeah, it's opposite.
so the homework tonight is gonna be like this.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I want to do one more before I really say. But on the homework tonight, you don't even have to graph. You just have to say what the move is. So it'll look like this, and it'll say describe the transformation. And the answer we're looking for is left 3. Or a more advanced way to say that is horizontal translation of -3. Yeah. I'm not even going to put that sign there. You're going to so confused.
Wait, so say you could go upward, positive.
No, it's a whole different topic. Do you guys want me to show you your homework real quick? Do you already want me? Okay, so this is left 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Where do you want me to zoom? You guys, who wants to take a picture? You want to take a picture of both?
Oh yes.
You want to take a picture of the whole page?
Teachers, please pardon this interruption for several afternoon announcements. I don't have any bus changes at this moment. Girls soccer conditioning is canceled for today. JROTC drill practice is canceled for today. The homecoming kickball game tonight is canceled due to inclement weather. The October Fishing Club meeting will be this afternoon at 2:30 in Mr. Kinseyor's room 35106. There's a mandatory meeting for anyone trying out for girls basketball immediately after school today. You'll meet in the College and Career Room 18108. Voting for homecoming king and queen will close tomorrow at noon. For more information, check your class Schoology group page. Any boys interested in playing tennis for the CHS team should attend an informational meeting today after school in Coach Tyler's room 3103. If you're interested in taking the ASVAB, please sign up with Ms. Kayla. The ASVAB will be on campus November 15th. Thank you and have a great afternoon.